Today we are talking about one of the more interesting animals within One Piece and how they can contribute to the story moving forward, but I have to give you guys a spoiler alert up to chapter 1153. If you're not caught up, then scroll on. I hate to do this to you, but we are not talking Zunisha today. We are talking about Elbaf's chief librarian, Biblo, and specifically him seeming to have the power of the Grow fruit. Now, if you follow this comment right here, I am talking about how Loki may or may not be joining the crew for the Straw Hats. Generally, I'm of the opinion that he won't, but based on these most recent chapters, it's kind of starting to seem like he very well might. But that being said, everybody is saying that if Biblo just shrunk him down, then he could be on the Straw Hat ship. But we need to really understand what Biblo's powers are specifically. There are some very specific caveats to Biblo's power that don't make this as simple as people are making it out to be. The first very crucial caveat to this thing is any book that enters his territory can grow to enormous size. So that means that there's a very specific relative space to Biblo himself that would allow for items to grow bigger. The second caveat is that it can cause any inorganic matter to grow. That means that it would not work on any living creatures, human, giant, whatever. And then the third caveat is that it does not work both ways. If something was already giant, then it cannot shrink it down. It can only make small things bigger. So let's bring this back to the original conversation. How could this work to help out the Straw Hats? Well, if we were assuming that for some reason Loki does in fact join the crew, then I think we would need Biblo to also join the crew. Well, why would Biblo join the crew in the first place? Well, the library is on fire. His domain is actively burning down as we speak. Now, don't get me wrong, I truly hope and believe that we're going to find a way to put those fires out and save the library, but what if we don't? This is where the stars would have to align, but hear me out. Now, our next issue is that if Loki does say yes to Luffy's proposition of him joining the crew, how the hell does Loki fit on the boat? Well, that is where Biblo comes into play. Since Biblo's house just burned down, he needs a new home. Well, if we give Biblo a new home on the Thousand Sunny and he creates the entirety of the Sunny to be his domain, in theory, he might be able to make it supersized. And that could possibly then be large enough to house Loki and a bunch of other things. Oh my god, and then if Franky uses more integrations with the Thousand Sunny to make the Thousand Sunny a transformer itself, then he could have an even bigger, more giant robot than he already has? Wait a minute, this theory is actually getting really fun all of a sudden. Not gonna lie, this theory is mad far-fetched, and honestly I'm still not convinced that Loki's even gonna join the crew. I really still think he's gonna end up staying on Elbaf and helping run that, but we're just gonna have to see. There are way too many caveats for this theory, so it's really unrealistic, but I guess it is possible. Since Biblo's house is burning down, he could end up roosting on the Thousand Sunny, creating that as his domain, and then we can start putting giants on the Sunny and all kinds of other things. If you like this video, then make sure to smash that follow button and leave me a comment. What do you think about this theory? Am I ridiculously out of my mind, or is this kind of possible? I feel like it's cooking, I don't know.